Board of Board members, Dr. Williams, would you like to begin us tonight?
Yes, I do have a few items I want to just review very quickly, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first that I want to report on is a visit to Roosevelt Elementary School. I did visit on October 9th based on the discussion that we had from one of the teachers there, Delia Segligo? Delago. Okay, thank you. I understand that in addition to being a teacher, you are a site rep for TALB as well. I spoke with a number of people there, and I invited Kevin Butler to accompany me on my visit, and I asked all the people that I spoke with if I could tape our conversation, and they did say yes. In terms of the concerns that were raised about the infestation of rodents, and based on that presentation, it appeared that we had a major problem at the school. The first person I interviewed was the lead custodian, Mr. London, who has been there 13 years. And I asked him about the infestation problem at the school, and he informed me that in the number of years that he's been there, there's probably been about 5 or 6 sightings of mice and 1 rat, to his knowledge. And I asked him about the ability of the district to respond to those concerns, and he said that Mr. Reineke, is that his name? I understand that he is the eradication person maintained by the district to respond to these problems. He's usually there that day or the next day. The next person I spoke with was the head nurse, because I was concerned if, and there were in fact reports of kids being bitten or things of this nature, that they would go to the nurse. And her report was similar to Mr. London, that the reports of rodent activity was extremely minimal. Now, in the room where it did occur, and based on the discussion I had with the people of the City of Long Beach Public Works, they are doing a lot of work in that area. So they really disturbed the habitat of the rodents in that area. And that occurs, as they say, any time that there's major work, especially in an area as densely populated as that area. So the rodents will seek other habitats when their habitats are disturbed. They will usually follow any line where there's food available or conditions that are favorable to nesting. In one of the classrooms, there was bird seed, and Mr. Reineke asked the teacher to remove the bird seed. That was done. And in the other area, in the other room, there was a refrigerator, and as I understand it, the rodents do particularly gravitate to the warmth of a refrigerator for nesting. That refrigerator was also removed. Now, according to the people in the city, we have been living with these creatures for over the entire lifetime of man, and we are not going to get rid of them. What they do recommend is that we follow procedures to make sure that we eliminate conditions for the rodents to habitate, and that means that we really have to stay focused on and make sure that we minimize or eliminate the presence of food in the classrooms and other things that will attract rodents. You know, anywhere there's food, we're going to find these rodents. But the thing is, if we practice the kind of maintenance problems that we need to, then we can reduce the presence of rodents in our facilities. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Ellis?
Nothing to report tonight except just a heartfelt thank you to all the members of the community who came out tonight. Apparently there must be a lot of DirecTV subscribers because you're not watching it on cable tonight instead. So thank you very much for coming out.
Dr. Barton.
Yes. First of all, I want to say I attended back to school night at Millikan, and it was a terrific evening. It was extremely crowded. I had planned to get to Lakewood as well, but I couldn't get through the traffic and find parking at both schools, so I stayed at Millikan. I'll get to Lakewood for the next event. But it was a very wonderful evening. Got to speak to a lot of teachers. I probably got to virtually every classroom and spoke to a lot of parents as well. Secondly, I too went to Roosevelt. Unfortunately, it wasn't as pleasant as an experience as being at Millikan. And in some ways, I feel like I went to a different school than my colleague up here. I too made a tour of the campus, and I spoke to maybe a dozen teachers over the course of the morning visit that I was there. And yes, there were problems, as far as I could tell, with rodents, but I was also concerned with a lot of other things that were that need to be addressed by the facilities issues that we've been talking about tonight. Large rotting gutters, 4 feet of gutter that's rotted through 2 or 3 inches thick, mold, termites. This is a school that's tired, and we have a number of them, and it needs to be fixed. And it's not enough to say, oh, we're just talking politics, or we're just talking about, there's too much, the teacher brought their sandwich into the classroom, and somehow that's brought rodents. There's problems, and we need to face up to those problems and see if we can get them fixed as soon as possible. So I think we need to keep the discussion honest and not say that it's one person's fault or another. The fact is, these are tired campuses that need help, and I think that's one of the things that we're trying to address. The other thing that I wanted to mention is during this evening we voted on the contracts, and I was going to table an item, but I decided not to. Though I have asked the special ed people to look at the number of students who are being sent out of state. We have a number of students who have severe behavioral problems. They're either mentally ill or they have behavioral problems that are developmentally disabled, and they're caused by that. Frequently, when we cannot find a facility in California to accept them, they're sent out of state. And sometimes this becomes routine. Sometimes it's necessary, but the issue for me is some of these facilities operate under different procedures than what we allow in California. They're allowed to do full body restraints. They're allowed to put the child in basically a padded cell. There are a number of things that disturb me about those placements. So I've asked the special ed department to look into and to see if we can move those students back, if we can find adequate placements in California. And I want to bring that up because I think it is a completely non-political issue. It is something that we really need to work on. So thank you.